Hey, nerd, go fuck yourself. You're a nerd, too. We were just in nerd class together. Yeah, but you're more of a nerd. Nerd. Where's your pocket protector, nerd? It's on your shirt. Can you tell from the look in our eyes? We live our lives like we're ready to die. Can you tell from the look in our eyes? We live our lives like we're ready to die.
Welcome back to another glorious week of Such a Nerd Podcast. My name is David. This guy right here, say hello,
is a douche.
Jesus! That's not hello. Why can't you just obey?
Oh, hello.
Alright, that guy is Josh.
You want a shitty chicken?
Yes, I order shitty chicken every day of the week because I love chicken, I love Chinese, I love you. Jesus! Will you marry me?
$50.
50? No, never mind. We're back once again.
Jesus!
I'm not sure if he's back to Josh yet. He's still doing impressions.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
It's been a long week.
It has. It's been a while.
Since I first did this podcast.
You know, I was thinking today, it does feel like for fucking ever since we talked about Xenogears.
It's only been 2 weeks.
I know, it's crazy.
We started this podcast 25 weeks ago.
Really?
This is episode 25.
Really?
We haven't missed a week yet.
Holy shit.
Yes, holy shit indeed. Yes, Cuban B. It's crazy, isn't it? So,
Yes, Cuban B.
basically this episode we've got some good stuff for you. We've got the continuation of the retrospective that I'm sure you're all here to hear. Here to hear? That's a pretty cool phrase, right?
Well, I be from Jamaica, man.
I be from here to here. Oh, that's not even Jamaican. I don't know
Lot
what
of
the fuck
mercy.
that was. Oh, I got a burp talk.
What part? Right near the beach, boy.
That's so bad. Basically, we've got our Xenogears Retrospective continuing, part 3 of... Is this 3?
Part 3 of 29.
Part 3 of at least 57. We've also got our Halo 5 review and also our Guitar Hero Live final impression, since I only gave a first impressions.
Yes.
So, let's get this show on the road. Are we moving into some news?
We are moving into news.
Let's move into news. It goes like this. It goes...
Shout-outs to Gary and Kurt.
Shout-outs to Gary and Kirk and Jesse.
And Jesse.
Jesse, you're in the list now.
And John, I guess.
Who's, official cousin?
Yeah.
Okay, you can have a shout-out.
All right, yeah. Well, Kirk joined us last week. That was pretty cool.
It was. It was very nice to have another opinion, because if we didn't, it would have just been me and you arguing, and...
Exactly. Nobody wants to hear that.
No, yeah, we always have to get along. Nobody wants to see fucking daddy punch mommy at the dinner table.
Oh, jeez. No, it was a lot of fun. We did 32 movies countdown to determine what the best horror movie was out of those 32.
I honestly thought Exorcist was going to win.
I did too.
I was shocked. But hey.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think we need to do it again sometime.
If you need to go back and figure it out, check out last week's episode. Because unlike the last, what is it, bro? I don't know what episode's on our stream. They're going to be gone soon.
Oh, no. A quick update on that. So I got most of them fixed. There's a couple that are blocked in Germany for whatever reason.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. But yeah, you should be able to watch all of our videos on YouTube, even though they're not really videos. So.
2000 Deutschen spots.
Here, to Bergen. Alright, on the news.
Alright.
You already did the dupes.
I did. I was thinking about doing it again, but I was like, should I? No.
Stan Lee has a new superhero movie that he's in production for. It's called Realm. It's a completely original concept that he's doing.
So it's not based off... Is it like a superhero movie, or...
It is a superhero movie, but it's not based off of any existing character.
So it's like a comic idea that has never been brought to light, but it is by the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think I dig it.
So it's going to be starring, and I'm not making this up.
Oh no, don't say that.
It's starring Li Bingbing.
All right. Well, show's over.
An Asian actress. She actually played Ada Wong in the last Resident Evil movie.
I'm sorry. That's a bad way to start your career.
Yeah.
It's probably not the start of her career. She's an Asian actress, and she's in Hollywood.
She is an Asian actress.
Well, is she an Asian actress or an Asian American actress?
I think she's Chinese, like straight off the boat.
Okay, so she's probably been in a... If Stan Lee's got the word, she's probably done a good job.
Yeah.
More power to you then.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
We'll see what happens. Stan Lee is the man, so...
Fuck yeah, he is. It goes in the top 3. Boom, boom, boom. Stan Lee. Kevin Smith. Fucking guy who made Memento.
Christopher Nolan.
Fuck yeah. Oh, shit. That's him?
Yeah.
He did an awesome job with Batman until the third one.
I like the third one. What are you talking about?
I like it too, but there were a lot of inconsistencies.
Well, yeah, a person paralyzed isn't suddenly unparalyzed from punching their back.
Climbs a wall that many people have died off of after being suddenly unparalyzed. And then he's just back in the city.
Yeah. And
Apparently
the
that-
magic knee brace you never hear about again.
Yeah, apparently that fucking hole was right outside of Gotham.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Whatever. It's cool.
Alright,
Fucking
but yeah, I love that movie anyway.
Batman.
Alright, so I have some movie stats.
Alright.
Yay!
I like stats.
I love movie stats.
I'm always watching for the failures.
Oh, you're gonna hear about a few of them here.
Are we talking about Pan?
We're talking about Pan.
Ah, yes.
So, Pan is a flop.
Oh, yeah. It's going down as one of the worst movies of all time.
$150 million budget.
Yep.
It's done $30 million domestic.
Boo.
26% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, well, what do you expect, dude? You're not going to be able to update Peter Pan.
I was expecting a Hook prequel, is what I was expecting.
Oh, instead you got a hooker who has AIDS
A hooker.
because nobody wants to buy it.
No.
Hey, my jokes are coming back.
That was
They're
pretty good.
terrible.
Gem.
Gem?
Gem is a flop.
What's Gem?
Gem, Jem.
No. Oh, you talking about the recreation of the fucking 80s cartoon?
Yes, which has nothing to do with the 80s cartoon.
It deserved a flop.
Yeah.
From the beginning. It should have never gotten the green light. I don't know how it did.
Alright, so there's two problems with this movie right off the bat.
Yes.
Number one, it has nothing to do with the original show.
Number 2.
Number two, it has a fucking 2-hour runtime.
Number 3, it's live action. Number 4, it was based on 80s music. Number 5, does the word just reboot or remake just get a green light instantly in Hollywood now?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, why? Why was that ever somebody was like, this is going to be a great idea. Let's throw millions of dollars at it.
Well, on that note, had a $5 million budget.
Oh.
So they spent
Okay.
nothing to make this movie.
I was
pretty
about
much.
to say, once you just said that, it's like, okay, they showed their faith with the budget.
It's done $1.3 million.
And it's Hollywood.
Couldn't even make back $5 million.
Well, you done goofed.
29% Rotten Tomatoes for that one.
You done. Whoa, it did better than Pan.
Yes, it did.
Whatever. Fuck them both. I thought they were both bad ideas to begin with, and they're proving it right now.
How about this idea?
All right.
Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. Ooh.
Oh, God. What about it?
No budget details on that one,
Okay.
but it's done $9 million.
That's it?
That's it.
Yes.
19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That shit needs to die.
I agree. Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire. Sacrifice its soul to the unborn babies of fucking Chupacabra.
And then we have
Chupacabra? It's familiar.
El Chupacabra. It's from South Park.
Hell yeah. I'm still keeping it going, folks.
And then we have one where they thought this was supposed to be a blockbuster. The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel.
Dude, I thought it was gonna be. It doesn't look terrible, but apparently the numbers don't lie.
No budget details on that one.
My hips don't lie.
They don't. I'm looking right at them.
Oh.
$12 million opening.
Oh, that's bad.
16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
16.
16.
That's the worst of all of them.
That is
isn't
the
it?
worst of the bunch.
Wow. Jim did better, dude.
So, yeah, no budget details, but just judging from the amount of special effects, the fact that you have to get Vin Diesel, all that stuff, Probably in the neighborhood of around $150 million budget, I would say.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Bye.
So, all those flopping,
All those flopping movies. Look at my flopping movie.
all of those movies doing shitty.
So basically, all four of them together can make the blades of a helicopter, so these flopping movies are just doing the helicopter right the fuck on out. Goodbye.
That has opened the door for The Martian to continue to take the #1 spot. That movie's been out for over a month.
Matt Damon.
And it's still #1.
Fuck yeah! I actually think that's a good thing.
$108 million budget. It has made $328 million.
Good on you, Matt Damon. And
92%.
Who was the director?
I don't know who directed that, actually.
We'll check that on break. We might look it up next week because he actually does deserve props because pseudo original idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as good as Gem. And whatever. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Keep moving.
All right.
I lost my joke, sorry.
So that's it for the movie stats.
Yes, so what are we on to? Video games?
Bruce Campbell elaborates on why Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash never happened.
Oh, really?
And we talked about this before, so it was basically...
Pause. Let me add to movie news. I don't see it in the notes, so I'm just going to say... Evil Dead greenlit for Season 2.
It's in the TV notes, goddammit.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I ruined TV. Here we go.
Bruce Campbell elaborates on why that movie never happened. So the story that we had always heard was that, well, Bruce Campbell didn't want Ash to die, so that's why he didn't do it.
Yes.
And that's not exactly what happened. So
maybe.
So as he was saying, on the original script, he was supposed to kill Freddy and Jason.
He was supposed to kill both of them?
That's the way the movie was going to go.
That is hot.
Basically, the lawyers came in and was like, no, Freddy can't die, he's a major property, yada, yada, yada.
Jason can't die, he's a major property.
Then the lawyers for Jason came in, they were like, he can't die, he's a major property. And then the lawyers for Ash came in, they were like, well, if they can't die, then Ash can't die. So it basically just fell apart with the lawyers.
He should have killed both of them.
He should
I'd
have
been happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be canon.
No, it doesn't have to be canon, but if anybody's going to do it...
It should be Ash.
Yeah.
Man, fuck Hollywood. That place is stupid.
We got a new Joker pick.
Do we?
I posted it on our Facebook page. Did you see it?
I've been very busy this week. Actually I have. Never mind. Because doesn't it have Harley in it too?
No, it's just Joker.
I thought it was Harley, Joker, and Will Smith.
No. There's 3 different covers for this. I think it's Entertainment Weekly, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it Harley, Joker, and Will Smith?
No. Well, yeah, it is those 3.
I think that's what I saw was a collaboration of the 3 photos together.
Gotcha. So yeah, and the Joker pick, it's Jared Leto's Joker.
Still dumb,
but he's got this his his purple coat is on.
The scale leather purple.
Yeah, it looks like straight up 1975 pimp purple coat.
Yeah, it looks fucking stupid.
He's got his pimp cane with him.
No, I don't like this movie.
No, it looks fucking horrible.
People love it. People are eating this shit up. I fucking thought that shit looked stupid.
But yeah, in that article, Will Smith did say that Deadshot, Harley, and the Joker will be involved in some weird love triangle.
That's even worse.
That is even worse.
Half of the character of Harley Quinn is her obsession with the Joker.
Now,
does that mean the Joker and Deadshot are going to have a coming out story here?
There was a story in the New 52 run of Harley Quinn where Joker really pissed her off, and to get back at him, she did try to come on to Deadshot. So that did happen in the comics.
Oh, god damn it.
Doesn't need to happen in this movie where you're introducing all these characters. You already have 27 characters in this movie.
This is like the worst version of the Avengers ever. The worst. And I saw Avengers 2.
Alright, on to video game news.
I did give it best movie ever. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ha!
Halo 5 is out, which you're going to talk about.
Yeah!
Doing well, of course. It's a Halo game.
It's doing great. Selling systems, too.
Yeah. Arkham Knight
let's not move on. Let me go back. One thing that I want to just laugh at is, of course, the internet. Because why not laugh at the internet? Metacritic, the best place to go for user reviews, to watch the zeros and read the salty reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Before the game came out, I saw a few 0 reviews, and I was like, yep, these are the ones worth reading, right? Because these aren't going to be the angry fucking fanboy types at all.
No, not at all.
So my favorite one, I don't remember the user. I wish I'd wrote his name down. The thing that he was so bitter about is, and this is great, it really does make me laugh. It's like, Halo 5, I've always been a huge fan of the Halo franchise. The thing I don't understand is why is this not getting released on PC? That comment alone, right there. When you're behind in a console war, your biggest franchise is coming out. What is the one thing you should not do with your top tier game?
Yeah, I probably don't want to make that
multi-platform.
Yeah,
No. Now, and he even finishes it himself. I don't got to make the argument. The last PC version of Halo we got was Halo 2. Is it that obvious that that's not a PC game? Am I right?
Yeah.
So, yes, Microsoft has fallen behind in the, we'll call it the arms war at this point. So, they brought out their big guns. The one thing that they should not do if they're trying to sell consoles, especially going into the holiday season, PC also. No, it's a console shooter. It's always been a console shooter. The few versions of Halo that came out on PC was a year and change after as a port with some added content, and it stopped at 2. Why would they take Halo 5 now and put it on PC?
PC Master Race, boy!
Yeah, it's not going to happen. You're probably never going to see another, like, canon Halo numerical series on PC.
Not anytime soon.
Especially now, when this is their card right now playing into the holiday season when they're behind.
Yeah.
But just reading that review, the dude gave it a 0 because it didn't release on PC. But when he made the argument we haven't seen a PC Halo since Halo 2, it was like, why the fuck would you even think they would consider that right now? This is their card right now to play. This is how they're going to get console sales going into the holiday season.
Yep.
These kids, man. It's these kids.
It's fucking kids.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the same people that probably bitched about fucking Street Fighter V beta not working when it was a beta.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a PS4 only beta. God damn it! I can't play it on PC. What the fuck?
Why can't I get this on my Xbox? Don't be stupid. Why?
You're asking a lot.
The internet, dude. There's at least a good chunk of 20% intelligence on the internet. And the rest you just watch on Twitter and Metacritic and Facebook, and YouTube, and you're just sitting there going, we're the human race. If this is going to outer space, aliens are looking at this going, let's translate this, and they're just watching it, they're like, this is what they worry about? Huh. Next. Goddamn self-entitled pieces of shit. I fucking hate you. Moving on.
All right. Rant over?
Rant over.
Okay.
Sorry.
Arkham Knight re-released on PC.
Still shit.
Still fucked up. They did raise the minimum specs
Ooh.
over what they originally said the game would run on. Now they're recommending at least 12 gigs of RAM as opposed to 8.
Oh,
which is
4 gigs?
Which is funny because
gaming usually only takes up to 8 gigs of RAM on a computer.
Well, yeah, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One both have 8.
Yeah, DDR5 and the PS4, DDR3 and the Xbox One. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
But they did say if you buy it between now and November 16th, you will get Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Origins, and Blackgate all together with the purchase. So it almost makes it worth it just if you don't have those games and you want those games.
Which I already did, so didn't care. Now, the thing that makes me laugh is they're also saying they will give a full refund now for that.
Really?
Now, Yeah, this just came up like a day or two ago. They're saying basically, yeah, we fucked up again, so full refunds, whatever, all the way up until the new year. Get a full refund.
Nice.
Now, if you got those gifts from buying it from the PC re-release or already originally owning it, do you keep those gifts or do they take them away if you get the full refund?
That's a good question.
I don't know because I'm not in the position to do it. I already owned them. I didn't buy it on PC. I bought it on PlayStation 4. So
Like a normal fucking person.
Like an intelligent person. Who knows which console is winning this race? I am kidding. I'm playing more of my Xbox One than I ever have. Thank you, Halo.
You really are.
Dude, we'll talk about that in my review.
All right, moving on.
No, not moving on.
Oh, Jesus.
I think... Jesus! That's probably not getting edited in. So, when you think about it, I think that if they're doing that and they're issuing full refunds, the people are already giving them a second chance. They gave them games nobody's going to buy this late in the cycle. If you're already a fan, you probably already got them.
Right.
If you didn't, let them keep them.
That would be the respectable thing to do.
It would be. So I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know what they're doing. I just know right now they're offering a full refund if you've bought it before or even on the re-release.
Gotcha.
So I think if nothing else, they owe it to the people that have been waiting this long to just give them the original games. It would show fucking humanity. Do we have much of that in the video game
No.
industry anymore?
No, you do not.
Let them have them. You gave them away as gifts. Let them keep them. I hope they do. There's my 2 cents. Let's move along. Sorry.
Dowsum revealed for Street Fighter V.
I am mad.
No. I thought the trailer looked pretty... It made him look pretty cool.
We actually talked about... Sorry. Ugh. Did we actually talk about it on the podcast? I'm not sure if we did, but we were talking about how Maximilian figured it out. There's going to be this character, there's going to be this, and he's like, oh, the last one's obviously Dawson.
Yeah.
He was right. I'm not mad about it because I pretty much figured the last classic character, who else were they going to bring in? Blanca? They already have a Brazilian with electricity. Don't need fucking female Blanca versus male Blanca. Who else could replace Dawson? He's iconic. I'll give him that.
Yoga.
A Yoga Flame. Yoga Teleport. Yoga Chipotle. I need some Yoga Chipotle.
They also announced the official release date, which I could have fucking sworn they already did.
They didn't.
Because they said it was February 16th, and I was like, well, no shit, they already said that.
No, they never actually gave an official release date. I think you were just expecting. Because February is a good time for a game going through a beta phase this early. I think maybe you assumed, because I really don't recall a release date, but I was expecting the same. And it was like February. I was like, knew it.
Cool.
Threw up the horns in case anybody couldn't see that, since this is an audio podcast.
Well, either way, February 16th is the date they announced.
My body is ready. It is.
Is your body ready to get bodied?
No. I'm taking this game over you this year.
Okay.
You fucking asshole.
Nintendo.
Yeah, what about them?
Nintendo, they announced before that they were going to get into mobile gaming on cell phones and tablets.
Yeah.
So they announced their new mobile game.
And?
So everybody was like, oh, we're going to get to play Mario. We're going to get to play Zelda. It's going to be great. I can have it on my iPhone. It's going to be awesome.
You're not going to give them what they want.
No.
No. All right.
It's some shitty, like, meme maker.
Oh, yeah, I did. I did see this, actually. It has something to do, and you can attach your account to your Wii U to bring your Mii's in. Yes. I remember. Yeah, I read about it, and I was like, well, that's stupid.
So it's doing a like similar thing that the Nintendo DS does. So like if you pass somebody on the street who has a DS, it'll be like, hey, you know, street tag this person, and then you can see them in your plaza and, you know, play little mini games with them and shit like that. And that's basically what this is. So
what you're saying is it's basically stupid.
Yeah, if you pass somebody that has it, you know, your Mii will talk to their Mii, and you'll be able to like, it's free to play, free to download, but microtransactions, of course.
Of course.
You can buy new clothes and hats and hairstyles.
You gotta look your best on somebody else's phone that you're probably never going to talk to.
Exactly.
Fuck you, Nintendo.
Not only did they announce that game and not one of their classic games that everybody actually wants to play, but they also announced that it's going to be delayed.
Oh, wow.
So like, hey, everybody, we got this new game, and it's delayed.
You shouldn't have announced it to begin with, because nobody cares. And by the way, Smash, I checked it, still not a fighting game.
Yeah. This just in.
That's crazy. Even with Ryu, it's still not a fighting game.
Who the
shit? Fuck. Can you pull him off the DLC because he shouldn't be there?
All right, on to TV news.
How do we do...
That works.
HBO. Sorry.
It's not HBO. It's just regular-ass TV.
That's where I got the idea from, is that that HBO, when they did HBO originals, they'd be like, shh.
Yeah.
I took out the chum, see how it's different?
Yes.
Your beat goes, nah, 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 nah. Mine goes, nah, 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 nah.
Nah.
So, boom, HBO, don't fuck with our copyright.
Supergirl debuted.
Yay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Was it?
It was. So I was actually really worried about it because from the original trailers that they released, they made it look like if...
You said Sex in the City with a Supergirl.
Yeah, I was going to say Sex in the City with Supergirl. That's exactly what it looked like. And, well, at least the first episode wasn't like that. So it actually wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, I would say.
Oh, damn.
It drew in 12.9 million viewers, which is the highest rated comic book show debut ever.
That's not fair.
So that's including...
Daredevil?
No, because that's on Netflix. This is regular-ass TV.
Oh, we're only doing regular-ass TV.
Yeah, the previous record holder was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right, yeah, that's what I figured it'd be after
which was 12.9.
I can live with that.
Or, excuse me, 12.6.
I can live with it.
Yeah.
You know, at least it wasn't fucking Arrow. Fuck that show. Yep, never seen it either. Go ahead, hate me, fanboys.
The Flash is pretty good.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'll never watch it.
So as you spoiled earlier, Evil Dead got a Season 2 renewal before the first episode even aired.
America! Fuck yeah!
Apparently, Starz was so impressed, they were like, we're just going to go ahead and sign you to a second season.
That's fucking amazing.
Did you
Makes
watch
me
it?
wish I had stars.
Oh.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how.
Okay.
But I will be watching.
All right.
I will not be paying the company. I can tell you that.
I didn't watch it yet because obviously yesterday was Halloween. I was out doing shit, so I haven't
We got
watched it.
kids. We got to trick or treat.
Yeah.
Kids got to trick or treat. Just ring doorbells, knock on doors, and just get the fuck away. So, yeah, by the way, this is obviously going to be on... This is one of our Tuesday casts. This should be the last one for a little bit, I think. We had my vacation, his birthday, and Halloween all on the day we record. Kind of got fucked this month.
Yeah,
Hopefully next month
bit.
we move back into our regular cycle, into regular editing, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be lazy on this episode. So, just saying, I hope Josh didn't hear that.
No, I didn't. What?
Okay, cool.
What'd you say?
I was saying how I really can't wait to move to our next segment because I think we're going into break, aren't we?
Yes.
All right, this is a choose your own adventure. Which will I choose? Are we going into reviews or are we going into Xenogears? Find out on the next installment of Such a Nerd Podcast. We don't have the button to stop this. Let me work on that. Josh, hype it up. Just hype it up. What's the danger? What's our dangerous
Here comes a
situation?
new challenger.
Fight your rival.
Now, fight your rival. Hadouken!
We have come back from break.
And the dead.
And the dead now with zombies chewing on your brain.
Oh, speaking of that, I neglected to tell you, I did watch Return of the Living Dead 3.
Chewing on my heart.
Might literally be the worst movie ever.
I believe believe it. I don't remember which one was 3.
So that was the one where the chick was like a zombie, but not a zombie.
Yeah.
And she started like putting nails and shit through her skin
Ah,
for no reason.
Evil Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they forgot that Return of the Living Dead was a horror comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And they went the straight horror route, but it was really shitty horror.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
they fucked up.
Yeah. Might be the worst movie ever.
This is Such a Nerd Podcast. We've returned from our break.
So, David's going to do some reviewing.
That's what we decided to go with, is we're going to do reviews before Xenogears because it's easier to do reviews before Xenogears because internet. That's why. So, going into this, first, I think I'll give my final thoughts on Guitar Hero Live.
Yes.
And then I will move into Halo 5 review.
All right.
Sorry, I had to get that out. It's life.
Yeah.
People burp.
You got to get it out.
People fart. People poo. Sometimes you gotta take a number 2.
I don't.
Keep doing this to you.
I never do it.
You don't poop?
No.
Nah. Good on you.
I haven't pooped in 27 years.
Who needs it?
I know.
You're older than that, liar. So, moving
All right.
into it.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero Live. I never actually gave a final rating, I only gave a first thought. This is my final thought. The track list, Josh, is small.
Okay.
There's only it can't be
Like
more
a
than
penis in cold water.
I didn't look it up, so obviously you can fact check it if you really care, but it feels like there's only 30 some odd songs
Okay.
that you can unlock and play anytime you want. Guitar Hero Live kind of wears out because they keep recycling the same shit. Even though there's a bunch of them, they don't play the shit I want to hear during the times I'm able to play Guitar Hero Live, so I don't get to play them. Kind of sucks. Especially if you're going off the mentality I had before, where it's like you just unlock the plays.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, I gotta sit through either another indie rock block or a nobody noticed these guys in the 90s block, and it's like, oh, come on.
Lots of 7 Mary 3.
Lots of, I don't want to play these songs anymore. So, in the end, I would say if you're really itching for a rhythm game with something different to play it, if not, it's probably not going to pull you in. It's a meh. That's why I said you were going to hate my response. I enjoy playing it.
I hate the mess.
I enjoy playing it, but there are definitely times where I'm just like, I like these 4 songs on your playlist, and I like these 10 songs that I can spin plays on. Other than that, you keep putting me in a goddamn indie rock block, which I don't want to be a part of anymore.
That is really weird how they decided to do that. I mean, obviously they're doing it because they want you to spend money to play the songs that you want.
Like I said, I think it's a good system. I just wish there were more than 2 channels. They have 2 channels, and if you don't like either of them, it's like, well, pick the lesser of the evils because we're not changing it.
Like, the only thing I can really equate it to is some of the later Pokemon games where they made you put in the time of day that it was.
Yeah.
So then, like, if you're playing, like, I normally, obviously I do most of my gaming at night. There's certain Pokemon you can only catch in the daytime. So I'm like, how,
That's
what?
silly. That's silly.
I don't like it.
No, what it boils down to, they already said they're going to add a 3rd channel soon, but still, to be trapped into those 2 channels right now, and you're playing the same shit all the time, which is when I get a chance to play, it's like the same shit as playing at those times. It's like, why? This is fucking stupid.
Here's a novel idea. How about I paid X amount of dollars for the game. I get to play the fucking game. How about that?
That's the way it should be, but that's never going to be the case anymore.
It's not.
Hell, even Street Fighter V's not going to be that way. Spend fight money or real money.
Yep.
Fuck it, dude. We're stuck. We're old. We believe in games being finished, and it doesn't happen anymore. But hell, on the convincing argument to go against that, Battletoads US couldn't be fixed to save 2-player mode.
Yeah.
We could have gotten that update. Never got that update until it went to Europe, in which they have the good version. Fuck you guys. Fuck Europe.
Alright, so you gave it a meh. On to Halo 5.
No, I won't move. I'll explain it. I enjoy the game. I still have fun with the game. I wouldn't say I would jump out to buy it if you're on the fence. Wait till it goes down, it goes on sale, something like that. Then it's worth picking up. But for the most part, being a day one person on that game, it's not the way to go. Now, Halo 5, on the other hand, let me just say, I am impressed. Better than Halo 4, easily.
Okay.
The graphics, obviously, console generation ahead, look better. The gameplay is really tight, and honestly, going off modern day shooter controls, I'm putting up the bunny ears, they're all pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
Halo is a little different, but honestly, it didn't take too long to adjust. The new abilities, but the ground pound, we'll just call it, because every game has to have a ground pound now. The Spartan shoulder, I enjoy. If you're running at an enemy and you hit melee, you dash towards them with your jets and you fucking knock them the fuck out. You could kill them, you might not. If they're full health, you're just going to knock them back, but still. If you're sitting there trying to pick somebody off and you get hit with that, you go flying across the field, it's like, yeah, I should probably stop. The story, we'll start with the story. The story is...
So I've not heard good things about this.
The story is not what they hyped it up to be. At all. You're expecting like this fucking feud between Spartan Locke and Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Not really what happens. Very lightly what happens, but not what happens at all. They're hyping it up like they're showing reverse plays of, oh, Locke's down and fucking Master Chief's holding a fucking pistol at him and he's giving him a speech, and next commercial was like, oh no, Master Chief's laying in that same spot and Spartan Locke's giving him this speech. It's none of that is even close to what happens.
Awesome.
Like, at all. But, like I said, there's a light element of Chief versus Locke, but not nearly portrayed as the way they've advertised it. What it comes down to is trying not to be... Because there is a kind of a big plot twist that revolves around everything. That was kind of cool, because if you beat Halo 4... I should stop there. There's no way to explain this without giving a spoiler. Story mode, I'll give the story, good on you. Yep, I found a middle ground between, man, best game ever. Good on you. It was a fun experience. I played it all the way through pretty much in one day. It's not very long. It's probably like a good 6-7 hours. I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough to where I just continued going, because first-person shooter, obviously, it's not going to be the longest story ever.
Right.
As I was trying to explain to you before.
Which, I understand that, there's, like, Halo 2 was longer than that.
I don't think it was. It was only probably like 9 or 10 hours. It was a little longer, but it wasn't much. The longest campaign I had in Halo is probably Halo 4. So.
Well, I'm a story-driven kind of guy, so when I heard... I mean, not that I'll ever play it anyway, but when I heard... the story was only like, 6-7 hours, and people were saying the campaign wasn't that good to begin with. I was like, oh, well, that sucks.
I wouldn't go that far. I did enjoy the story and watching how it evolved. I'll give it that. But...
Well, I heard also, and you can comment on this, but I heard a lot of people complaining that your AI teammates were fucking stupid.
They're pretty dumb. They'll throw themselves in the line of fire for no reason. I did have this one part that really made me mad. Because now that you got squad mechanics, of course they're going to give you revive mechanics, because they're expecting when you play these games, you're going to have 3 other friends to play with. I got one friend. He doesn't have an Xbox. Josh, get a goddamn Xbox.
Who the fuck is Josh?
So I'm sitting there, and I get knocked down, and I'm like, oh shit, hit the button to call out for healing. Help me! And I shit you not, 2 of my teammates are standing on either side of the screen. I can see them both. They're pretty close, and they're not doing anything. And I'm like, let me call out for help again. Hey, I'm down, pick me up. Neither of them move. One, occasionally they'll fire a shot or two, and I'm like, I'm literally going to bleed out with my friends just watching me die right now. This is great. Hit the button again. I'm running out of time. Just before the last tick, one of them turns around and starts healing me. He got shot. It was too late. It reset it, and I died. Nice. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? You were right there the whole time. All right, whatever.
So that was actually another complaint that I heard about the game, was the revive mechanic basically takes away any fear of losing.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't give it that at all, because the firefights you end up in that game are massive scale. You have to think about what you're doing. I would say the most it does is save you the frustration of going back to checkpoint. Because there's a couple times where you're like, that was retarded. I should not have died there. You know what I'm talking about. You're playing a game and it's just like, oh, out of nowhere. Of course. That's what happens. I just wasted fucking half an hour.
Yeah.
It alleviates some of that because some of the bigger attacks you still die right off the bat. When it comes down to that, I actually think that's a good thing. Because anybody who beats, like, Legendary in Halo, rarely did they do it on their own. When you play it multiplayer, you have that option.
Right.
This is the first Halo where you have computer-controlled allies who are like, okay, we're going to act like you're doing it like that. You have people helping you. I don't know anybody who ever beat Legendary without a second player. I think it's impossible. It's too much. You'd have to have no children... You'd have to have no life, and you'd have to have no time to do anything else in your life. You'd basically have to be a World of Warcraft player. Is that wrong?
No.
All right. I can fire those shots now. So, I would say that'd be a cool weekend. To sit down with a buddy and just be like, hey, let's play fucking Halo. It's fun. The system works out great. I like the way they changed the pacing of the game. Like certain vehicle, like you'll get vehicle segments, and then you'll get to this segment where you end up in a mech. It's really cool the way they split it up. But moving into what everybody cares about, because you only get 6 or 7 hours with that baby.
Yeah.
Multiplayer. I think the multiplayer is probably the best it has ever been.
For Halo or
for Halo? Yes.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of Halo 2 back when it came out. God, we still have stories about just trying to buy a headset for that fucking game.
That was a crazy time.
I like, excuse me, I like the added aim down the sight.
Excuse me.
Sorry. I like the added aim down the sight mechanic to an extent. I like the way they handled it. Because the whole thing, the argument was why Halo doesn't aim down the sights, or these are Spartans. They don't need to aim down the sights. They can fucking fire perfectly. That was kind of like the pseudo-character argument. In this one, if you get hit while you're aiming down the sight, it's not like Call of Duty. You're not still aiming down the sights. You're thrown off. The bonus you get for accuracy is minimal. So aiming down the sights is pretty much... If you've played Halo throughout this entire series, going in without aiming down the sights, not going to affect you. I have not aimed down the sights, barely at all. Made out fine. I've had a lot of fun. The jetpack boost felt a little forced. Because, Call of Duty did it, so now we're doing it. Which didn't help with the sprint mechanic, which is now not an ability, but it's just in the game.
I just want to point out that Battlefront did it before all those.
Sprinting?
So there you go. No, jetpack.
Oh, yeah, they did it in Battlefield 20... I don't remember the year.
No, Battlefront. Star Wars. Battlefront 2.
Oh, I didn't know that was in Battlefront. I remember Battlefield 20 whatever. I don't remember the futuristic setting they had after Part 2, but they did jetpacks. Either way, you're wrong, too, because Tribes did it before Battlefield.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about Tribes.
Don't forget about Tribes.
Shazbot.
They're the first ones, man.
Tribes is great.
Tribes still is great. They have a free-to-play shooter. I actually spent like $60 on it. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I do not regret spending that money because, honestly, it was a much better shooting than anything outright at that point. I spent a lot of time in fucking...
Tribes is great.
I'm not even lying. Check it out. You got a computer that can run it? I don't remember what it's called, though. It's like Tribes Ascension, I think? Maybe? I don't know. Check it out. It's fun. It's free. Till you get like me and you're like, I want to play as this class. And I spent some money on it. Like I said, I don't regret it. It was a great game. I had a lot of fun. But either way, deviating. Now, on to the next new thing from fucking Halo. Running out of breath. Somebody give me a cheeseburger.
Because that'll help.
Moving on. Multiplayer is pretty much the same affair it's always been. Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing that seems to be missing is Big Team Battle. Though that has been replaced with Warzone.
I've heard about that.
I like Warzone. I like the variant where it removes the AI and the computer, though. Because at that point, it's 12 versus 12. Mm-hmm. It's like, yes, you vie for control of these bases and everything, but it's not like that. This is what made me hate the regular full-on Warzone, was just to start capturing this base, you need to kill 3 AI-controlled computer opponents. And I'm like, no, I'm in the base. There's no people here. I should be taking it. Instead, you're hunting down these computer-controlled players, and you're killing them, and they don't even really put up a fight. It's stupid. It's pointless. But the variant of it, where they get rid of all that, and it's just like, there's going to be no computer-controlled enemies. There's going to be no computer-controlled defense. It's 12 versus 12. Go. That was fun as fuck. Loved it. It just becomes a war of attrition. And that's what it should have been to begin with. I think that's what Warzone should have been. I think they got the idea from Titanfall, maybe, to have AI involved. They didn't do it nearly as well as Titanfall. Nobody's going to do it as well as Titanfall. It was 6v6, and it felt like you're playing fucking 64 versus 64. So, good on you, Halo. I'm giving it best game ever.
Okay.
It is the only reason I have turned my Xbox on in a long time. And it has been on every day since the release. I still cannot wait to go home at some point tonight and play a couple rounds before I go back to Tales of Zesperia. Zesperia? Zesperia.
Thought it was Zestaria.
Which, by the way, not getting a review of that anytime soon.
Got a few more hours in that one.
I got a couple hours into it. I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely, it falls to the same old problems you have with JRPGs.
Grindy as fuck.
Yeah. Is it just me, or do they not evolve?
Not really, which in some cases I wish... We've talked about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think we're both very scared when it comes out it's going to be more westernized.
I think it's going to be bad.
I don't want it to be westernized. I want it to be a traditional JRPG.
They've already said it's going to be action.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Throat demons. Speaking of throat demons, Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh wait, no. Let's just go into break.
Alright, so we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Xenogears and why the Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to lick balls.
We'll talk about that on break. We are back with our Xenogears Retrospective Part 3, where we've almost made it to the point where they get abilities. This is going to take forever.
No!
Pretty much.
So 2 things we did not mention in our last episode of the Xenogears Retrospective. 2 things happened that I wanted to point out. So, those in Solaris, you find out they can use Ether, which is this game's version of magic, pretty much.
Yes.
So, like, fire, ice, lightning, all that shit.
Heart.
So,
Sorry.
in your powers combined...
I am Captain Xenogear.
So that's one of the things that the people in Solaris... That's why they see themselves as better than the lambs. The surface-dwelling lambs.
We can use magic.
Yeah.
We're all Harry Potter over here, bitch.
And also, during the scene where Doc and Faye are in the sand cruiser right before Bart attacks, Faye goes to sleep and he has a dream. Much like the dream that he had about, or not the dream, but the flashback he had of the pendant swinging in the light.
Yeah.
And
or backstory.
Yeah, you see the young Faye, or what you think is a young Faye, sitting in the cockpit of Weltall.
I thought this was going to be the sitting in the desert part.
No. Oh, well, that's what this is. So we did not mention that in the last episode. So Faye has a dream. It's another flashback. You see a young Faye, or what appears to be a young Faye, sitting in the middle of the desert. And you see these people walking over this sand dune, pretty much.
It's like a caravan of people.
Yeah. And he starts chasing after him, but he can't catch up, and he falls to the ground and starts weeping.
One helpful soul is there.
Yeah, and you just see kind of the outline of the person. You can see they have red hair.
They extend a hand.
Looks a lot like Ellie.
Flashback complete.
But you see she is wearing the pendant that you keep seeing swinging in the light also. So
Ever so gleaming.
yes, so just wanted to throw that out there because they're kind of important.
They are. This whole respect,
Ritipidida?
it's too important. There's too much.
English, motherfucker!
Alright, Alright, Xenogears Retrospective is done.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, our heroes fell into a stalactite cavern.
Then they were like, well, we gotta work together, so whatever.
Yeah, so we left off, Bart was basically like, oh, you're not an Ava soldier, and Faye's like, well, yeah, I was trying to tell you that, asshole.
Just trying to tell you that, you butthole.
So they agree that they need to work together to get out of this cave. So you start going through, you see this gigantic wall, which is basically blocking the exit of the cave. And it's kind of like, well, how the fuck are we going to get past this? You stumble upon an old man who's living in the cave.
What are you doing down here, old man?
He tells you his name is Balthazar.
I am Balthazar.
And he's like, everybody just calls me Old Man Bao. And I was like, I'll call you Balthazar. All right. That sounds a lot cooler.
Everybody calls me Weezy. I'm gonna call you Wayne. Bitch. Fuck Lil Wayne.
So he's basically like, you guys are riding gears. I can tell that one of them needs a new knee joint. And he was like, man, you can tell that by the sounds they make? And he's like, you can tell a lot by the sounds they make.
He's like, nah, I've been watching you through your bedroom window.
So he basically says, look, to get the wall up, I can put the wall up, but when you guys did, when you fell through the top and the cave-in happened, you tripped a couple sensors, so you need to go reset those sensors, and then I can lift the wall for you and you can get out. So they're like, alright, no problem. So they go reset the sensors, they come back, and you start talking to Balthazar, and he's kind of like, or Bart says, what are you doing down here? And he's like, I'm a collector of sorts. He's like, I've been doing a lot of research down here. And he takes you over to his to the back room, and he's like, look at all these skeletons. What do you see that's different?
Look at all these magnum-sized condoms while you're back here in my room.
He's like, what do you see that's different? And you can kind of see the progression of the skeletons that he has. Like, one's an animal that has, it almost looks like a saber-toothed tiger skeleton.
Yeah.
And as it's going on, you can see it kind of evolve to have longer teeth. And down below that are human skeletons, like skulls. And he's like, well, what do you notice about these? And he's like, well, before this point, there's no human skulls. And he's like, so I would venture to say there were no humans on this planet, more than 10,000 years ago.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he was like, well, how can that be? What about the concept of evolution that the ethos always talk about? And he's like, that's hogwash.
No, say it like we would. That's bullshit.
And he was like, I prefer to listen to to believe in the old myths and stories. And he goes on, he's like, humans lived in paradise with God, and then much like the Bible, they were like, humans ate a forbidden fruit and were casted out of paradise. And he goes through this whole story, essentially the story of Adam and Eve for the most part.
Yeah.
And Bart's like, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the old stories of gears that could surpass, regular gears? He's like, oh, you're talking about the Omni gears. He's like, no, I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I bet you don't. You wouldn't mention them if they weren't important.
Yeah, so Bart's like, well, that stinks. I mean, that's pretty much what he says.
Oh, well, shit. Goodbye.
Yeah. So Balthazar is like, well, before you guys go, I'll give your gears a once-over real quick, and then I'll go raise the wall for you. So Bart's talking to Faye as Balthazar walks out, and he's like, it's said that the royal treasure of Ava is one of these Omni gears. I was hoping he would know something about it. And then all of a sudden, Balthazar comes running back in. He was like, whose gear is this? This black one. And he's like, it's mine. He's like, no, this can't be. He's like, this gear is the host for the Slayer of God.
Oh my God Slayer?
So once again, you have somebody telling Faye that he's meant to destroy God. And Balthazar is basically like, look, you need to leave right now. And he's like, well, wait a second. What do you mean, Slayer of God? What are you talking about? And he's like, no, you need to go. Get out of here.
He's like, basically, everything I was just saying doesn't exist. I just realized it exists, and I don't want you here because I don't want to believe it. So get the fuck out.
So he raises the sand barrier. You have a little boss fight against the Calamity Gear.
It's a bitch.
It is a bitch, because that thing fucking hurts.
Yeah. What do you expect, dude? It's called Calamity.
It is called Calamity. So you're fighting this thing, and you kind of knock it down, and it gets back up. And then Bart's like, oh shit, what are we going to do? And Faye just busts out this attack in his gear, and he's like, hands are glowing, and like fucking Last Dragon style. He's like, you got that glow.
When you got that glow.
You feel it right when you got that glow. So he like unleashes this attack, and Bart's like, what the hell was that? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, that attack you just did, how'd you do it? And he's like, I have no idea.
I'm in the dumbed down version of my gear. I just hit buttons.
Yeah. He's like, I have no idea how I did it. So they're like, all right, well, whatever. We should probably get out of here.
I guess.
Yeah.
We win.
So they exit the cave, and Bart's pretty much like, oh, the royal Capita. The royal capital of Ava is right over there, so we should probably wait to settle our little dispute because we'll, draw guards over. And he was like, look, my crew probably picked up Doc. We should head back to the hideout because they wouldn't have waited up for us. So you travel through the desert. You find the desert hideout.
Yes, you do. And?
This is a lot.
This is a lot. And we aren't even like a quarter of the way through, dude.
You go to the desert hideout, you find Doc, and one of Bart's protectors, I guess, or mentors, is called Mason. And Mason has a chat with you guys, and he's basically telling you why Bart does what he does.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Am I boring you?
No, you're not boring. Dude, we're busy people. This isn't the night we normally record. We're pushing to when we can.
Like, Faye has this understanding of Bart that's basically like, oh, he's a dumb pirate and he just wants to fight. And, Mason's kind of like, no, that's not exactly true. And before he can really finish his story, Bart comes up and he's like, hey, I want to show you guys something.
Eat my shorts, man.
And he takes you to this room, and he's like, this is an ancient scroll from Ava. And he's like, this is the digital copy. He puts it on the computer screen, and they're all looking at it. And it's like, you can see the kingdom of Ava being founded in these scrolls. And he comes through, and he gets to the end of it, and he's like, here's the Omni gear that I was talking about. And it's this picture of this huge gear. And he's like, this is the treasure of Ava. This is what I'm trying to find. And he asks Faye, he's like, you're strong. I need your power to help me do this. And Faye's like, I don't want to fight. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I don't want to be in this gear. I don't want to fight. That's not what I'm about. I just, I fucking hate life right now. I don't want to, fight anymore. Leave me alone.
I jumped in this thing one fucking time, and now it's like, God damn it.
Leave Faye alone.
Leave Faye alone. What are you doing? Fuck all that shit. It's so strange how it's just like out of nowhere. He's like, fate is just consuming him at this point.
Yeah.
He cannot escape from this thing he wants nothing to do with. Every time you turn a corner, it's like you are forced back into this gear, which you destroyed your life with. How would that make you feel, Josh?
Oh, wonderful.
I would feel lovely.
So Faye is like, no, I don't want any part of this. Leave me out of it. I don't want to fight. And Faye walks off, and Doc catches up with him. And he's basically like, you should listen to what Bart has to say. He's not the person that you think he is, pretty much. And Faye, again, is like, I don't want anything to do with it, yada, yada. And as they're walking back, they see Bart standing on the edge of the Yggdrasil, which is, of course, their big submarine ship. And he's kind of like talking to himself. Well, he's talking to his dad, but he's also talking to himself because obviously his dad isn't there.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, I'll take back the kingdom. I'll unite the people. We'll make peace with Kislev. I'll honor your memory. And, Faye can help us do that if you can, help me find some way to convince him to do this. And, Faye's overhearing all of this. So you can tell, like, he doesn't come out and say, he still says, no, I don't want any part of this. But you can tell he's kind of wavering on it a little bit. So Faye decides he's just going to go, they have like a barracks, he's going to go, rest, lay down. So he goes over there to lay down. And then the view switches, and you see it's somebody breaking into the hideout, and they were like, haha, yeah, we tracked them back to their hideout, we're gonna steal all their gears, and they find some of Bart's pirate gears, and are like, oh, those are low-end models, we want the big stuff. And they decide that they're going to launch an attack, and then...
Missed all the US F4 action during the...
I'm sorry. Vern decided to start talking.
Due to Kanye West.
It did to Kanye West. I apologize. Continue.
So you find out that these people are all part of the Gebler Special Forces, which, as we discussed, these are the Special Forces of Solaris, who have been sent to Ava to aid in their effort against Kislev.
Yes.
So, all hell breaks loose. There's fire, blood,
Brimstone.
fucking blood and guts everywhere.
Cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria.
Fuck yeah.
So Bart, of course, hops in his gear. He starts fighting them. Doc goes over to Sigurd and he's like, I need to help out. Is there a gear I can use? And he's like, yeah, sure. Pilot this one. But, shouldn't you think about this? It's been a while since you were in a gear. And he's like, no time to think. And he hops in. And he starts fighting. And then, so you're fighting as Bart and Doc and their gears against the other guys. And one of them is about to shoot Bart. And Welltall comes out of nowhere and Faye's inside of it.
Hell yeah.
So he just shows up and he's like, alright, I'm fighting, motherfucker. Let's go.
And that's when everything is on.
Yeah, that is when everything is on.
It's when you start the fight. Sorry, little inside joke going on right there. We keep that one inside.
Yeah. I completely lost my train of thought.
That's exactly what it was meant to do.
So you're fighting the Gebler forces. You're able to beat them and get them out of the hideout. And then you decide, okay, I'm gonna help Bart rescue Margie. So now you're in the fight. You've like, all right,
You're legitimately pushing aside all the problems that you're having. Like, look, I don't want to do this. You're like, this is it. This is where we go to war.
Yeah. So you're like, all right, I'm in it. Let's do it. So you guys sneak into Ava.
Yeah.
And you're trying to come up with this plan to rescue Margie. Ava is having their 500th anniversary of the country's founding. So to commemorate it, they're having this big tournament.
What a perfect time.
I know, right? Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, who wants to watch a tournament?
So they come up with a plan. They're like, all right, Faye, you're going to go to this tournament. You're going to cause a big uproar at the tournament. You're going to do really well. While that's happening, the guards are going to want to leave their post to come watch you fight because you're so awesome. At that time, Bart is going to be able to sneak in.
It's like, be a badass while we go be assholes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you come up with this plan, you start executing the plan. You fight the first couple of opponents, and you're like, all right, right on. Nobody uses that Ultra.
I was about to say the same thing.
Nobody uses that.
Out of context, sorry. We're watching Canada Cup 2015, and somebody playing Elena didn't use the healing Ultra. They used the actual Ultra.
I am shocked.
That never happens. So, either way, sorry.
So you have the first couple fights, and then all of a sudden Dan shows up. Remember Dan?
Dan's an asshole kid who hates Faye.
Who hates Faye because he killed his sister. Yeah.
He didn't really care about the brother.
So you have to fight Dan, and obviously Faye's like, no, I don't.
can't fight him.
Yeah, he's a kid. I don't want to fight him, but Dan's trying to beat your fucking ass.
Oh, he's going to town. He's getting his revenge.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's doing great.
So, unfortunately, if you let your life run out, it is game over. So, you have to beat Dan.
Yeah, you just throw fucking health items on you.
So, you beat Dan, and there's another guy there who calls himself the Wiseman.
Yes. Oh, that's when shit starts to get a little cray.
Yes, it is.
Did I say cray?
Yes, you did.
God damn it, I feel like I'm only 23.
So the Wiseman wears a mask and has a blue cloak that he wears with a hood. So yeah, you're gonna fight him next, and you're gonna find out some shit.
You definitely find out some shit at this point.
So before we get to that, we're gonna take a little mini break,
Da, da, da.
and we'll be right back.
Thank you. We're back from another break. Should we talk about the break that we were just talking about?
Sure, why not? We had a break, and we
It
took
was
a break.
lovely.
Yeah.
We're watching Canada Cup Ultra Street Fighter 4 Finals.
Yes. Yes, Neo.
It's getting very close to the end of the ability to get into Capcom Cup. So, now that the matches we weren't extremely pressed about are over, okay, we just watched one come up. Never mind. Let's continue.
All right. So you're fighting the Wiseman.
Yes.
You cannot hit him.
Yeah, you can't.
No, he just kind of stands there and dodges everything you do, so you can't do anything. The fans in the arena start booing because nothing's going on. He's just kind of standing there dodging, and Faye's like, oh, shit. People are booing. The guards aren't going to come over and watch the show. Bart's not going to be able to sneak in and rescue Margie.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God damn it. Coming from the God Killer, I mean...
So the Wiseman is basically... He starts saying, oh, you have a fighting spirit like your father and all this stuff. So clearly he knows, who you are and where you came from and stuff like that. So
Sounds like somebody you might have met before.
perhaps.
Perhaps.
Faye is trying to get some answers out of him, and before he can get any, the Wiseman forfeits the match and runs off.
Like a dick.
Like a dick.
Dicks run. Mine does it all the time. The two balls start stepping. It's over. Dick just runs.
So Faye gets into the final match. At this time, Bart is, reached Margie. He's getting her out of the place, and then Ramsey shows up.
Yeah.
So Ramses is like, yeah, you're not taking her. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry about your luck, bruh.
So you start fighting Ramses, and Faye wins the last match of the tournament, and then Faye runs off to come find you, so he actually joins you in your fight against Ramses, and Miang is there as well. So
It's like a welcoming party.
Faye is fighting against Ramses, and he pulls out this attack, and Ramses is like, You motherfucker, I know that attack.
You.
So, Ramses, he goes into this fit of rage, so obviously he knows something about Faye as well.
Something that Faye doesn't even know about Faye.
Yeah. So, Faye and Bart grab Margie, they're able to get out into the courtyard. Doc shows up in his little crab spider walking gear thing.
Yeah. Welcome back. It's Merlin Robots.
Yeah.
It's Crab Walker.
It is. Merlin.
Merlin.
So they all pile into the crab gear thing, and they're able to escape out of there with Margie. So they're like, all right, we're going to take Margie back to Neeson. That's where she belongs, back to the Holy Order of Neeson.
Yes, that.
So they take her back over there.
Yeah.
And they go into the main building. And this is actually a really cool part because things start to tie together a little bit. First of all, there's a statue in like the main, I guess you would call it a cathedral.
Yeah.
So like you walk in, there's a statue, there's a female angel and a male angel, and they each have one wing.
Yes, one's reaching up to one, one's reaching down to the other.
Yeah, so the person basically explains that, you know, they're dependent on each other to fly. You can only fly, or they can only fly when they're together.
They are each other's wings.
Yes.
Essentially.
They take you over to one of the back rooms, and in there is a painting of the Holy Mother Sophia.
She looks really familiar.
She does look really fucking familiar, doesn't she?
God, it sounds like somebody you might have met in the forest.
It looks like Ellie.
Yes.
So, as they tell you, the Holy Mother Sophia was around during the war of 500 years ago.
Imagine that.
Yeah, they call it the Great War of 500 years ago. That's like the name of the war.
It's not generic at all.
No, not at all. The Great War of 500 years ago.
Yes. Just because we love this game doesn't mean it doesn't have some stupid points.
Well, the translation, which I plan on talking about later, some of the translation
Is off.
Yeah.
As with most games of that era, it wasn't even until after the PlayStation 1 era that translations became more important,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
Because the PS1 has some really bad translations.
For sure.
I mean, it's not-
Even Super Nintendo does.
Oh, yeah. Even Nintendo does. Fucking Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy! Sorry.
So I think it's Doc who actually comments, and he's like, the painting is unfinished in the bottom corner. It's weird that the artist would choose to set down his brushes when it was so close to completion.
Yeah.
So they tell you the story of Sophia. There was the war of 500 years ago. She sacrificed herself to end the war. And that's really all they know. So that's all you know at that point, is that she sacrificed herself.
Well, she's gone now.
She is gone.
500 years later, according to the war.
So you leave the cathedral, you go into the local inn for the town, and Bart basically starts to put together this plan to take back the capital.
Yeah.
So he's basically like...
He is the prince.
It's basically the same plan that they used to rescue Margie when you think about it, because they're like, all right, Faye's going to take his gear. He's going to go over to the Kislev border.
He's going to be a distraction.
Yeah, so he's going to start a skirmish at the Kislev border. It's going to bring the Ava forces away from the capital because they'll think Kislev is invading. That'll allow us to sneak in and recapture the capital. So that's the plan that they come up with.
Does it work?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah. So they enact the plan. Faye goes off to the border. Gebler shows up again.
These motherfuckers.
I know, right? But this time, Ellie's with him.
What?
Yeah. So, before we get to that, I should actually mention, so the view actually switches to Solaris, and you see Gebler talking with Ellie.
Yeah.
And they're basically like, oh, so you're the one that everybody talks about. You're the one that had the incident.
The incident.
So, if you'll recall, Ellie's flashback when she was standing in a hallway full of blood and mangled bodies everywhere.
Yes.
That's what they're referring to.
Yes.
So...
Not the Tyrannosaurus Rex
Not the
incidents.
No, not that.
Yes.
So Faye goes off to the Kislev border. Gebler shows up. He fights through Gebler, and then Ellie's there, and he's like, I don't want to fight you. Like, just, you don't have to do this. I don't want to fight you. She's like, no, I really do have to fight you. Sorry.
This is my job.
So you start fighting, and you gain the upper hand, and then she's like, I don't want to use it, but I have to. So
This bitch.
She
This bitch right here.
She uses what they call drive. Mm-hmm. And drive basically enhances the natural properties that a person has. So she's a really strong magic user.
Yeah.
So when she takes drive, it enhances her magic capabilities. So she uses drive, and
Gear.
yeah,
Sorry. This is kind of relevant to the last scene of Metal Gear Solid 4.
she uses drive, and she unleashes this attack called Aerodes, and it fires these things all over the place. There's a big explosion. And the guys in Gebler are like, whoa, holy shit, what was that? And they're like, you're looking at the real deal, boys. This is her at the height of her powers, pretty much. And you come to find out this is what happened at the incident. She used the drive, and she kind of lost control of her powers and went crazy for a second and killed a bunch of people. So that's what happened in that incident.
Faye didn't do it.
No, Faye did do it.
Faye did it. Yeah.
So you're fighting her while she's using drive, and Faye basically pins the her gear down, which I don't remember the name of her gear. I think it's Vierge.
Something.
It's like
with
VIE.
It's a very German sounding name.
Yeah, I think it's Vierge.
We'll check it on break.
But he's able to pin her down, and he's like trying to get her to snap out of it because she's like, she's just not herself. She's like
basically going fucking full on bloodlust.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
It's like, no, you're not.
So she eventually
You're not killing me today, batch.
She eventually does snap out of it, and the two of them get out of their gears, and they're like talking to one another. And she's still kind of like this,
Snake Eyes. Sorry.
She's like, I'm a Solaris soldier, you're a lamb, we have to fight each other. And he's like, no, we really don't have to fight each other. Like, you don't have to do this.
Pretty sure we can get along just because we're people.
Yeah, and he basically says that. He's like, you had the opportunity to kill me in the forest, you didn't do it. You obviously feel differently about these so-called lambs than most people in Solaris do. And he's like, well, you have to make your own decisions. And he gets into his gear and he flies off to continue his mission. And, Ellie kind of sits there and contemplates what he says for a second. And you could tell she's kind of like a person divided between Solaris and her family and how she truly feels, which is she doesn't like the fact that Solaris looks down upon the surface dwellers as lesser people. Just because they can't use magic and they live on the surface.
Yeah.
So, she's kind of like dealing with her own inner turmoil over that.
But
so Faye goes off, he gets to the border, and Vanderkoom shows up.
That motherfucker.
Vanderkoom's got a giant tank, pretty much, with a giant-ass gun on it.
It's pretty big fucking gun.
So you're fighting Vanderkoom, and you beat him, and all of a sudden Groff shows up.
This ultra-powerful motherfucker with the stupidest fucking helmet I have ever seen in my life.
Groff shows up, and
how does his helmet have piercings?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
He starts talking to Vanderkoom, and he's like, do you desire power? And Vanderkoom's like, fucking right, I desire power.
It's my life, bruh.
And
do you even lift?
Groff goes into this whole speech, and he does this a few times throughout the game, where he's like, I draw upon the power of the mother, blossom, O fallen seed, you will get great power. So basically he
pulls the weak-willed to work for him in exchange for more power.
Yeah, so he gives Vanderkoom power, and Vanderkoom starts attacking the other gears that are with Faye, and he just fucking starts destroying shit. And then Faye blacks out again.
It's not a good thing.
Not a good thing. We know what happens when Faye blacks out.
Everybody dies.
Faye blacks out, and the view switches over to Bart, so they're about to make their assault on Ava. So they're about to go in, and then all of a sudden, all these other Ava soldiers and gears pop up out of nowhere, and they're like, oh, we saw through your little plan to draw our forces away from the capital. Yeah, it's not going to work. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they regret being there. So,
so Bart and company have to retreat. So,
sorry.
Do you have the cocks out of your throat?
I'm coffee.
Okay.
I'm coffee.
Coffee black?
John Coffee.
So Bart and company have to retreat, so they get in the Yggdrasil and they start flying off or, riding off. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this red gear shows up.
This magnificently powerful red gear.
And the person piloting it has long red flowing hair. And
Never been introduced in the game.
Never been introduced. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's basically like, I want to see how strong you are. Talking to Bart.
I cannot stop coughing. I apologize.
He's talking to Bart, and he's basically like, I want to see how strong you are. So as Bart, you start fighting him, you're clearly overmatched.
Easily.
Yeah.
You get destroyed in this fight.
So Sigurd is in the Yggdrasil, and he comes up with a plan. He's like, if we dive underneath the sand and come up at exactly this angle and hit this dune, the ship will fly up and, you know, we'll be able to ram into this red gear and fucking destroy him. So they do that. Mm-hmm. So this giant-ass submarine thing flies up into the air, lands down on the red gear, smashes it. So
They've
Bart's
been
like,
Diesels.
Yeah.
It's fucking Furious 8.
So Bart's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell was that? I thought I was... Good Lord, man.
I'm sorry.
Get the cocks out of your throat.
Trying.
So Bart's like, what the hell was that? I thought I was fucking a goner. I thought I was about to die. And he's like, where'd you come up with a plan like that? And he was like, I got to think on my feet. Then all of a sudden...
It's like, we don't believe in a fair fight.
No. Then all of a sudden, the ship starts moving.
Oh.
And it starts rising up slowly. And you see this red gear not even touching the ship, just using its hand, like, telepathically, is lifting the ship up.
The spoon is not real.
And just to put it into perspective,
That's
I think
Matrix quote.
I think the gears are, what would you say, like 45 to 50 feet tall?
Yeah, about 45, 50.
Okay. This ship...
Maybe 60. Sorry.
Okay. This ship, the Yggdrasil, has a gear hanger in it, which houses 12 gears.
Yes.
That's
to
just...
give you an idea of what's going on.
That's just in the front half of the ship.
Yes, it's a very big vessel.
Yes. So this red gear is lifting this up.
It's basically
with
the Titanic.
Some type of power.
Yes.
And he was like, that's no fair dropping a ship on me. Take it back. And he actually throws it towards Bart. So it hits Bart's gear, and then...
what the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. And then Bart blacks out. So he doesn't black out. He gets knocked out.
He drank too much.
Yeah, so you don't know exactly what happened there. And that's where we will leave the story for today.
That's perfect, because this is, again, I'll just put this in here now. This has nothing to do with Xenogears, but this month has been hard on us.
Yeah, it has. It's been a busy month.
Between vacations and birthday trips and Halloween, we have not been able to record on the normal schedule we would like to record on.
Correct.
We have not been able to edit on the days we elect to edit on. So if you've noticed a little less editing than usual, I apologize. We're just trying to make sure the episodes get up first and foremost. October's been rough. Hopefully November brings us new skies and because this episode, it's probably still going to be a little less edit heavy than usual, because we're recording on a Sunday. We both got to work Monday and everything. I'm editing, I'll admit it. I'm going to try to throw a little bit of hay in it, because I enjoy actually editing when you're done. But in the end, this isn't our job. We're doing it when we can, and this has been a busy month for us.
Yes, sir.
So with that, retrospective is Xenogears. We love it. We love Xenogears. I still love that game. I really want to play it again. What's really pissing me off is knowing that the update for Xbox One is coming up, where my Xbox One arcade games that I've purchased, some of them, not ones I want, Symphony of the Night, are going to be capable of played on my Xbox One. Mm-hmm. But in the end, it's just one of those things. I completely got off of topic.
Hey, it's all good.
we've been busy. We've still got a lot of Xenogears to go. We still enjoy it. It's going to definitely wrap up retrospectives for a while.
Yes. Yes.
I can give you one promise. In 2 weeks from when this episode hits, we are going to have our new continuation of Titty Le Clitoris.
In Taintsville.
Taintsville as they cross the river of Panama.
Yeah, it should be good times. So in 2 weeks, you will get another story for that.
Yes, I've asked for 2 weeks. He said next week. I asked because I really want to go in. I want to make sure there's some good flowing continuation to this story. I want this world to come together perfectly, as you would with anything called something like Titty Le Clitoris. So, with that, we're going to wrap up Xenogears. We're going to get into Gasms in a minute. I just wanted one more time to apologize to people who have been listening. Little less edit heavy than usual because we love throwing little dumb things in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like a game on edit day when that happens, but when you're tired and you got to work, you can't really do that. So, I mean, you could call out of work, but then we don't make money.
Yeah,
and then we're not making money from two directions.
Yes.
So, apologies. I hope you guys have enjoyed the retrospective so far. Moving on next week. And hopefully moving on with more production value. Unless you guys want to pay us, then we'll do it every day. But you don't want to pay us, do you? Yeah. We love you.
I know I'll make it through somehow. 'Cause when the road feels so long, I'll still be holding on. I'm gonna keep on going. I know I'll be strong. Yeah. Indestructible. I won't let nobody break me down. Indestructible. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Indestructible. Gonna make you gonna keep on going. Indestructible. The last man standing. I'm waiting for what we want. I'm never giving up. Nothing can break my spirit. 'Cause it's indestructible. Yeah.
We're back. My name is David.
I am douchebag.
I believe it.
All right.
We have... I'm sorry if you can hear it in this episode. We're a little distracted.
A little bit.
They're called Sunday Finals for a reason. We're watching, as I've said before, Canada Cup Top 8 for Ultra Street Fighter 4. We're enjoying it. We're also tired. We work for a living. We're parents for a life. So, fuck you if you don't appreciate it.
All right. Let's get into some goddamn nerdgasms. You want to go first?
I can go first if
Go
you want.
first.
One of my nerdgasms, I don't know if you're a part of this culture, but podcasts.
What the fuck is a podcast?
Podcast. I'm going to have to, I mentioned this not too long ago, Rude Alchemy. I really dig the way they do their show, because nowadays, how often do you hear about radio dramas, you know? Do you even hear about them? I don't think anybody hears about them.
Nope.
And they're working, of course, they're working with a storyline that involves the Salem witch trials.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So, when it first started, it was a lot funnier, but as the story's gone on, it's gotten a lot darker. So, I really appreciate that. I've been enjoying it. They updated today. So, of course, that's why I'm saying that's my gasm, is Rude Alchemy. Second gasm. Metal Gear Solid 5 is finally over. That's a gasm.
Okay.
I think I'm finally done.
Yeah.
You made sure you mentioned it when you were. I think I'm at the point where it's like, I think it's over. I'm good.
Yeah.
I spent 100+ hours on it.
Yeah, you just get to that point where you're like, all right, I don't want to rescue the prisoner number 27. I think I'm done.
I would still go as far as to say, as the same time we talked about it last time, I really feel I got my money's worth out of that game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Do I have a third gasm? I'm enjoying... I wouldn't even say it's a gasm. I think it's just a pre-chup. And
A little chubby.
Have a chubby. We mentioned it before after I bought it, Tales of Zestiria. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice going back to an old school JRPG that you've experienced over and over and over. It's like back when you bought a Final Fantasy. It's like, you know what you're buying with a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
You don't know that anymore with a Final Fantasy.
You
With a
have
Tales
no clue.
game, with the Tales game, you know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, like, there's certain parts I kind of damn, that it's like I'm damning you for doing this again. Going through it again, it's kind of like, you know, this is kind of annoying, but no other game does this anymore. There's no long story diatribes going on like this, where it's just like, God, you guys have been doing this forever, and it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to put the controller down, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to watch. I know you're not going to be like, quick time event. It's like, are there any JRPGs that have a quick time event?
There might be. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
The only thing close I can think to is Resident Evil 4 had quick time events. It's not an RPG, but the first time it happened, I was like, wait, whoa, I just died.
Yeah.
Why were there buttons on the screen?
I was watching a cinematic.
I thought I was watching a cinema, but apparently I had to have a controller in my hand to hit a button. So those are mine. I'm really looking forward to getting into Tales of Zestiria. It's just so much more of a casual game.
Yeah.
You know?
Nowadays, it's all about multiplayer and microtransactions, buddy.
Yeah, like Halo and Metal Gear. Don't get me wrong, I love both of them, but Metal Gear, you can't sit there and play a Metal Gear game and go, oh, I need to take care of something. Let me just stop everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
Old school JRPG. When you're just roaming the map, you can be like, I should do laundry. Pause.
Yeah, let me sit here for a second.
The pause button doesn't exist anymore. Except for this game. And I actually really appreciate that. I never thought I would say that, but I really appreciate the fact I can just be like, anytime just, hold on. Because you don't get that too often. Everything's about online connectivity or anything could happen at any moment. Like, I remember the one time I tried to do laundry while I was playing Metal Gear. I came back and I was getting ambushed. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Can I have 5 minutes? I know you guys want to kill me, but I gotta wash my socks.
My socks are crunchy. I need to wash them.
Ew. Crunchy socks. Everybody knows what that is. Don't act like you don't. Alright, so those are my gasms.
Alright, I have 2 gasms.
I had 2 gasms and a chubby. So, I feel proud.
My first one, Martin Shkreli.
Really?
Do we remember this guy?
No.
This is the asshole who bought the AIDS medication and jacked the price up.
I think I've heard about this. Yes.
Okay, so that's that asshole. There is another pharmaceutical company who is now producing a similar drug.
Yeah.
They're charging $1 a pill. As opposed to his $750 a pill.
Guess which one's going to sell better? Oh, it feels so good. Cows, many.
So that's part number 1 for that. Part 2 for that is he did a what do you call the Reddit thing? Ask Me Anything.
Oh, an AMA.
Yeah, he did a Reddit AMA. Ask Me Anything.
Wait. That dumb fuck.
Yes.
Did an AMA.
Yes.
Well, let's hear the results.
How well did that go? Let's see. There was a legitimate doctor in there who was like, you know, why did you feel it was okay when you took over this medication? It's been around, you know, for 70 years. Suddenly you want to charge $750 for it. And he's like, well, we're trying to research how to make the medication better. And to do that, you need money, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, the things you're saying you want to do with this medication are chemically impossible to do with this medication. You would have to develop a completely new type of medication. So what you're saying you want to do with this money that you're getting, is impossible. You can't do it. Chemically, physically, you can't do it. He had nothing to say.
Imagine that.
So part number 3 to this.
All right. Oh, don't clap with a beer can.
This guy then went to donate money. Bernie Sanders is running for president.
Yes.
Donated money to Bernie Sanders.
Bernie denied, didn't he?
Bernie said, thanks, but no thanks, buddy.
See, that's why Bernie is a people.
He is a people.
He's not a person, he's a people. He is a man, I would say, for the younger generation.
When does a politician ever deny money?
Exactly.
Never. It doesn't fucking happen.
Until you involve hurting people.
Exactly.
And he made the mistake of making sure he made his stance very public.
Yes.
I don't care what you say. You do that to a medication that's saving lives. The pill was already expensive to begin with.
Yeah.
He did that, and it was like, wow, you're Hitler.
Pretty much.
He did that to himself, and it's like, what do you expect now, dude? People are trying to figure out a way to outsource you, get the same effects, and act like you don't exist.
Yeah.
Except to be the ass of a joke.
Pretty much.
Hey, congratulations. You gave money to a politician, and they didn't accept it.
Yep.
You're officially the ass of a joke.
My second gasm.
I thought that was your second.
No. My second gasm is GameFAQs is doing the best game ever. So if you go onto the GameFAQs website, up at the top, you can fill out your brackets.
Okay.
128 games that they have selected
They have selected.
as the best games ever. And you fill out the bracket, and if you win, then you get $2,000.
Whoa!
They do this every couple years. They'll do like, hey, best Super Nintendo game ever, and they'll do like 32 games, like we did with our little tournament thing.
No, I remember that, but
Yeah.
I didn't know there's like a winner's payoff if you can figure out who it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That's bullshit because my actual game of all time is not going to win.
So that's what I was going to bring up. So they're doing this contest. So if you're interested, go to GameFAQs.com. That's FAQS facts. GameFAQs.com. Fill out your bracket for what you think is going to be the best game ever. So anytime they do one of these, I always vote the brackets how I would see it. Like, oh, clearly Chrono Trigger is going to beat out Super Mario World.
Yes.
Not on GameFAQs. So this is the first time I've actually gone through the bracket, and instead of picking what I think should win, picking what I actually think's gonna win. So,
why wouldn't you?
We'll see what happens.
All right, here you go, Josh. Don't even think you get 10 seconds. Best game of all time. There you go. 1, 2.
My personal?
Yeah, personal. Your personal.
Final Fantasy VI.
That's your personal?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you liked 7 more. You know mine. Do I gotta say it?
Go.
No, I'm curious. I mean, we've gone over this a million times. I'm curious to see if you'll say it. What do you think my personal is?
Fucking, I don't know.
As much as I've talked about it.
Halo 5.
Oh, goddamn it, Josh. I would think you would understand my personal number 1 game of all time would be Symphony of the Night.
Oh, I probably should have known that.
I thought you would have. You've watched me beat it like 4 times.
I have.
I love
I'm
that
always
game.
dumb. Like, that's one game, and it's weird. People, like, with Let's Play videos are like, why would you watch somebody play a game? I can watch you play that, and I'm dumbfounded every time that you remember where everything is.
I remember where everything is, and I know where to actually. I even know the spots you're supposed to sit there and camp, and you just farm to try to get weapon drops.
Yeah.
Only one time have I don't remember the name of the blade, but it's actually like a special move to blades where you have to do like a fireball. You have to do down, roll to forward, and hit a button, and he'll like jettison forward, and he does like a bunch of slashes.
I remember that.
The only time I ever got the sword where that's just the way he does slashes was at your house.
I remember that. You were like, I've never seen this before.
I was like, this is the best, and it was the best sword ever. It's quick, strong, multiple hits. You can keep moving the whole time. I never found that weapon again. I don't remember what it's called, and to this day,
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish I still had that memory card. Because that was fucking amazing. Getting old.
All right.
You would think it's actually not even a real weapon if you talked about it, too. That's the greatest part.
The mythical multi-stab blade.
If you weren't there to witness it, I would just be like, dude, I swear to God, this is a real weapon in that game. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
sure,
yeah,
guy.
yeah, sure. But you were there and you watched, and when you watched me, once I got that weapon, I never stopped moving.
No, I remember you sitting there saying, like, in all the times I've played this game, I've never seen this weapon.
I hadn't, and I had never plowed through everything, because even when you slash in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, when you slash, you always stop. With that weapon, you just kept walking, and every time you hit the button, it was multiple hits, and you killed everything.
Everything died.
I really wish I knew the name of that weapon. I'm sure I could find it. Welcome to the age of Google.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to find it out one day. I'm going to check it on
Check it on break. There you go. All right, so to wrap it up, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Podomatic, iTunes, and Gmail, all at Such a Nerd Pod.
Yeah, you can check us on YouTube.
No, you can't.
Maybe. Maybe. Such a Nerd Podcast.
They maybe come out at night. Maybe.
Mostly.
They
So,
maybe pulled the copyright. Maybe.
Enjoy your week. We will. I'm sure by the time you hear this, it's probably going to be Tuesday, because, like I said, I apologized for it, but this will be the last time for at least until whenever we're done being busy. Life is life. Fucking deal with it, son.
Yeah, hopefully we can record on Saturday next week and
Yes, we can get back to normal.
Yeah.
Where everything functions properly.
have a full Sunday to edit. It'll be great.
Oh, dude, I actually miss lazy editing Sundays. I never thought I was going to say that, where I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go edit this podcast. I wake up on Sunday today and I was like, I have so much shit to do today, I can't even fathom. But, yeah, hopefully, like I said, I think he feels the same way. We apologize. We will get back to our editing strengths, and we will make you giggle with our Jesus! And maybe even, some other things. Maybe.
Panama!
And in 2 weeks, fantasy fiction. Next week, we don't know. Could be anything. I think, no, what we're going to do next week, boom, watch this. Josh, retro review. Game you love.
Okay.
We're not going to say what it is, what era. Next week's going to be a retro review of a game he loves. 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a fantasy fiction. It's going to be like part fucking 6, 7 of fucking Xenogears.
It'll be part 4 next week.
There's no way it's only going to be part 4. It's going to be part... No, I'm saying when we're done with that. It's going to be part 5.
Oh, no, when we're actually officially done with it?
No, God, no. I don't know what that's going to be. I'm saying when we're done, when we get to fantasy fiction, it's going to be part 5.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm going to guess Xenogears is going to go up to part 15.
I'm going to go... so next week will be part 4. I'm going to go 10.
Unless we start to get to a point where we're like, all right, it's crunch time, dude.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's starting to happen because tonight we started to lose ourselves. All I had to do was show Josh a certain picture and he kind of lost it a little bit. It was a great picture.
Yeah, it is.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Have a good week and game on, motherfucker. Jesus!